Okay, let's get right into it. Money sitting in the bank does not make you more money. I know it's nice to look at when you log in, you want to see the money in your account and everything, but is it growing for you? No, it's not. You come back in 30 days, 300 days, it's going to be the same amount. Depending on the base that you have in there, it may have grown a couple of cents or a couple of dollars, but that's about it. For the most part, banks are paying less than 1% in interest. So that money is really not serving you by sitting in your account. You have to do something with the money in order to make it grow, right? Now, I know you spent some money this weekend that just passed or this weekend that's coming up. You spent some money hanging out, either you bought some food, you went out to eat, you did some entertainment. It's summertime, you enjoying the summer with your family, with your friends, That's what you do, that's what we do. We gonna spend money anyway. What I'm telling you in this video is how to make your money back, basically. I'm gonna show you what I did spending for the last week in July. Well, let's jump into that. I'm gonna show you how much I spent. And then I'm gonna show you how I made my money right back as soon as I came home. Okay, this is what my spending looked like the last week in July when I went to New York. So the last week in July, I just put 725, right? I think that was the Sunday of the last week. So I went to Budokan. I spent $94. That was food. Really nice restaurant. Um, Again, food. I ordered some takeout from this Jamaican restaurant. Spent $42. Food again. Longhorn Steakhouse. Got some takeout. That was about 30. We went to the water park. American Dream. If you haven't been to that mall in New Jersey, you got to check it out. The biggest indoor water park in the country. Spent $106. I think the ticket is like 100, and then probably tax is $6. The Sky Deck at the Edge NYC, another gorgeous place to visit. The ticket was about $34. I think my travel, I'm estimating because I don't really remember, but gas plus tolls about $1.18. I had my hair done while I was there. That was about 110. Okay, so altogether, 534. Now, that's what I put out on fun. Now let's see. When I came back to DC, I had a couple of customers waiting for me, right? This is my haul from this weekend. Bought this for 30, selling it for 70. And you see I got a couple of those. This one is a little bit less. I get 30 off of this one, 40 off of that one. This is my invoice for these boxes right here. Then these, I have 5 of them. And you see these, I bought for 40, and I'm gonna flip it for 125 each. And my invoice for that one, 5 of them all together, 125 each, 625. That's a good weekend. Make this a little bit bigger. I had to run around and meet like 4 customers that same day. I came back the following Sunday, 8-1. Okay, I bought test strips from Henry. I paid him $90 altogether. That's 3 boxes of Accu-Check at $30 each. Move this over. What I got back after I flipped it, which means when I packaged it up the next day, shipped it off to the post office, waited for my order to be received, did not I got paid out. So it took about 3 days. I got back 210. But I could have got paid the very next day because I could get paid before I ship it, but you also pay a fee when you do it that way. So to not pay a fee and get the full amount, I just shipped it off first and wait the 3 days or so. Okay, so I got back I'm getting back 210 from this 90 that I put out. Then the next person was, I met up with this guy. He had test strips too. He only had 1 box, Accu-Check. I put out 35. I'm gonna get back 70. Then I met up with this young lady here. She had test strips. She had 2 boxes. They equaled $22. And when I flip that, I'm going to get back 44. Then I met up with this guy right here. He had a 1 box, a different kind of Accu-Chek. Doesn't pay quite as much, but gave him the 15. It's going to come back to 30. Then I met up with this guy. He did not have test strips. This guy had insulin pens, right? I paid him $200. He had 5 boxes of them. Gave him $40 for each box. And I flipped that into this. Okay, so my total amount that I put out when I came back, the total amount I put out was this, $362. And once I box everything up, turn it into cash, I'm getting back this amount, $979. Now the difference between that is what my profit is going to be. So let's look at that. $979 minus $362. I'm gonna get $617. $617 in profit. Now, doesn't this $617 fully cover what I spent the week before, which was $534, right? So essentially, I had fun and I got my money right back when I came home and bought some supplies and flipped them. Ooh, I was able to make back what I spent hanging out, y'all. I spent $534 the prior week, came right back and recouped that plus a little bit more. If you're gonna spend money anyway, it feels so good knowing you got a way to get it right back in your pocket. Like, yes, that $362 is not gonna make you $600 on its own, just sitting in the bank, or however much you spent last week or this week or whatever. You need a vehicle to be able to flip that money. And the vehicle I use is medical commodities, okay? All that is diabetic medical supplies. It's test strips, it's insulin pens, it's insulin vials, it's meters, monitors, sensors, it's pods, it's so many different, you can source so many different supplies. And they all have different resale value. Some of them go up to like $400 or $500 per unit. So what I'm saying to you is, if you don't have a vehicle in place and you're looking for something that you could use to flip your money, use this right here. Like, learn about this. There's a link below. It's a free ebook. It will tell you how this industry works, why it works, and how you can get paid from it. How did I find the people that to buy this stuff from that have it? I'll show you that. I'll tell you about that in the ebook. But basically, people have this stuff in their house. They have it. They don't know what to do with it. People get more than they need. Yes, they're diabetic. Yes, they need to do something to care for the diabetes that they have. However, most people have more items than they use in a month. That's where you come in. You could buy those extra supplies from them. People, they don't know what to do with it. I'm telling you, I've met people who said they have thrown these things away. They expire, they don't know what to do with it, they toss them, and it just goes to waste. So basically, you are in a position to buy something. You're doing yourself a favor and you're helping them too, helping them put a few dollars in their pocket. They didn't even know that they could make money from doing this. Anybody could do this. Like, you don't have to be, there's no age limit. You don't have to be 18, you can be 16, you can be 17. Nobody's asking you to fill out a job application. Nobody's doing a background check. I have a felony. I got a felony and I'm on federal probation right now. I do not have a job. I do this. I put my car on Turo to rent out. I also sell a digital course. I do about 3 things, and it pays for everything. Pays the rent, pays the car note, pays the insurance, pays my restitution, pays my utilities, pays my credit card bills, covers it all. So basically, I'm telling you that if you're looking for something, this is something that you could look at and see if you want to do it. Now, there may be some things about it that people may not like. You know, if you don't like going to meet people, meet strangers, to buy from them, It's quick though. It's really quick. It's like 2, 3 minutes. You don't have to go in nobody's house. You can meet them outside. You can tell them to meet me at Starbucks or meet me at McDonald's or whatever. For me, not an issue. I've been meeting people with other various things that I've done. Network marketing. I've done, what else? I used to buy stuff in the stores and sell them to people all the time. I used to be a personal shopper. So basically, I am comfortable with meeting people, going to meet up with strangers. Like that's what I've been doing that. I don't even think twice about doing it. If that's gonna be an issue for you, then this might not be for you. But for the most part, if you don't have a problem with talking to people, you can do this. It's really easy. And it's profitable. It's profitable. You know how many diabetics there are in this country? There's a lot of people on diabetes. Like you'd be surprised. You'd be surprised. People you talk to every day probably have somebody in their family, in their household that have these supplies right in the medicine cabinet, right in their dresser drawer. Like all you gotta do is just, once you start paying attention, then you'll see what I'm talking about. Right now, you're probably just clueless because it's just something that you wasn't privy to. But once you start looking around and looking at this, you'll realize how many prospects are out there or around you or that you could find to buy from. Check out the ebook, people. Check it out. Hit me up if you got any questions.